Hello, you absolute lovelies. Let's talk all about Wonder Man. Yes, today Marvel Studios kicks off 2026 with a long delayed show all about Simon Williams. Now, they released all 8 episodes today, all in one. The entire season of Wonder Man is available right now, but I wanted to break it down into 2 episodes at a time because just these first 2 episodes, I have so much to say, and I assume that's how I'm going to feel about the rest of the show. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, etc., and full spoilers for each of those episode blocks. If you're new to this page, I cover lots and lots of comic book glory. I read 50 to 70 comics a week, and I break down my favorite comic books for you in a live stream every single week. I also cover every big movie. I cover the big TV shows. So this one was very near and dear to my heart because it is a meta show about the movies in the world of comic books within the MCU. Going to be diving into all of that with full spoilers. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, hit that subscription bell. Also like this video, it helps the algorithm. And most of all, I want to have a conversation with you about Wonder Man. This is a show that is very meta. This is a show that is very LA, but it's also a show dealing with lots of fun little Easter eggs and details. Let's have a conversation in the comments below. Let's talk Wonder Man. Wonder Man's episode 1 and 2 debut were absolutely perfect for what I wanted the show to be, and it's a very different tone than I was expecting. I knew it would be meta. I thought it would be a meta comedy. It is much more of a meta drama, which is a lot harder to do. But on the shoulders of Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, who plays our Simon Williams, I think that is absolutely a benefit. I love seeing an actor in the process, especially acting opposite our actor in process, Trevor Slattery, who's getting a lot more of a dramatic turn in these first 2 episodes. Focusing on episode 1, we really had Simon Williams established in this world. We established the tone of this world. We established the real grittiness. This is very much a locals LA, not like a Life for LA. I've been here 16 years, but it's very much not a tourist I love LA kind of show. This feels very much to me like The Studio, which is shades of Curb Your Enthusiasm and Entourage and all those things, meets something that is a little bit more dramatic in a way that I wasn't expecting. It's The Studio plus a drama about the human condition in a way that I wasn't expecting. There are lots of tongue-in-cheek references and details like Joey Pantaleone, Joey Pants as himself in a show about Hollywood, starring a guy that was in The Matrix, referencing The Matrix, was a delightful little detail. But the things that are being said, the dialogue, the actual language of this show is so genius. I love every tete-a-tete between, for example, Joey Pants and our Trevor Slattery and Simon Williams, but all of it's rooted in an absolute truth. I love, let's talk about that little segment because I'm stuck there in my head right now. I love that in that little exchange, we get that Trevor Slattery was telling his version of the truth, that Joey Pants did steal his lead, but we also got the darkness that the character went through and how someone like Trevor Slattery could be corrupted into playing a terrorist, that then got redemption in Shang-Chi, that then got to be in this show and recontextualize his backstory. And that backstory reflects in our lead, Simon Williams, who also feels like an outsider, who also doesn't belong, who's also fighting to get to the place that Joey Pants is, and also where Joe Pantoliano is a shallow, at times, experience, and he feels like he's showboating. He feels like he's condescending. He's feeling like all these things. 3 different, very incredible arcs in a couple lines of dialogue, and the show has so many of those moments. It is also masterfully directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, who is doing our upcoming Spider-Man, who obviously brought us Shang-Chi a couple years ago. This show, to me, is every bit what people that don't watch all the Marvel stuff are missing. All the Marvel stuff involves very many tones and ups and downs. This is a high up, just like the comic books. It is very capable of being grounded and gritty and contained and a character study. That's why I like comics. And I'm thinking it'll end with, probably the more superhero-y stuff, but we don't need that in this chunk of the show. I think this is exactly what people have been wanting for the diversification of Marvel. We want to feel the gritty street level. We want to feel a character study. We want to feel all these things. And that's the year. 2026 is kicking off with Wonder Man, and it's ending with Doomsday. We're getting the big action spectacle crossover mega event But right now, I'm loving this one shot, this very driven character story. Now, Simon Williams is a character that I'm actually not that as attached to as many other comic book characters. Simon Williams is a guy that is longing to be accepted, but it's because he's a movie star that wants to be an Avenger. He's a guy with very varied powers, depending on who's writing him, but they're all very OP. He's invulnerable. He's got super strength. He's got telekinesis in a form. We get to experience the bubbling of what that's going to be. And honestly, it feels like a much better take on what I love about Hulk stories. It's the repression and the dealing with it. We get the Hollywood element front and center, but what I really love is why someone wants to be an actor is so much about who they are. This feels like it's nodding at 70s cinema. We see Midnight Cowboy. We see the palette and the color and the texture. This has like a film grain to it. That feels like what our Simon Williams grew up watching. And that is what the show feels like, and it's a meta show through the lens of Simon Williams. Even the sensibilities of the show have those things. It's also so well shot with actual storyboarding, it seems like. This directing, this framing is incredible. I love that lock-off shot on the hood of the car driving through Hollywood, seeing landmarks outside right now, seeing Ventura Boulevard, seeing the nitty-gritty of Hollywood. All of that while we've got the duplicitousness of Trevor Slattery, who, if the man would play a terrorist, he would probably rat on his friend, even as he's becoming a real friend. And that feels so perfect for this character. That feels so perfect for Simon, who seemingly is wanting acceptance, who wants the draw of Hollywood. This is a really insanely personal experience for me because I'm a comic book guy that loves meta stuff, but I was an actor and I went through the auditioning process. I went through that every day. You get, your scene partner, you've got to ask a friend to come over. You sometimes record opposite your own self and pour your own heart out at you and hope that the tape comes out okay. I was not, however, a good actor like Simon Williams is. So it's really cool to see a character that plays someone that knows that they're good and they're just overthinking it and fighting through things, that the actor part of him is the most important part of his life. We see him lose a relationship in that first episode. We see Olivia Thirlby's character just dismiss their relationship because he didn't invest that much in it because he's so invested in the work and the things, and then he jumps right back into work hearing about this Wonder Man audition. I love the introduction of Trevor Slattery into his life. I love the bond over being cinephiles, and you really feel the love of cinema in Yaya's performance. I love that they both have that kinship at different eras of Hollywood, and you feel that as well. I love that everything about being an actor is about trying to fit in, and that very much hits the Simon Williams elements of things, but in a very different tone, a very different way. I think that second episode, the first episode was very much, Simon Williams with shades of obviously bringing in Trevor Slattery into his world. Second episode opens in Trevor Slattery's world and catches us up post Shang-Chi. We see how he went from where he was with Shang-Chi to being arrested to being blackmailed into this situation. That's a logical arc for him to go on. I'm curious how his history as the Mandarin affects things even more. Will that affect his work in Hollywood? Does that come up even more as we get deeper into the show? I love the second episode opened in his world, and we got to see that feed into Simon's even more. So far, this is the writing I've wanted from Marvel and from expanding into characters like this. So far, Marvel Spotlight has been killing it. I think what they did with the incredible Man-Thing one-off Halloween special was so freaking awesome with Werewolf by Night. Like that Werewolf by Night special and the introduction of Man-Thing and all of the details we got out of that Michael Giacchino directed masterpiece, then into Echo, which I liked a lot, a little bit more than most and not quite as much as Werewolf by Night, which I consider one of the best, like top third. This is another spotlight where if this sticks the landing, if the rest is as good as these first two, man, those spotlights are hitting, and this is exactly what I want out of Marvel. So what a way to kick off the year. What a special first two episodes. I'm going to try to be more focused in the rest of my reviews. I'm just overwhelmed by how much I love this. I was excited for it because of Yaya. I think he's sensational. I've done a bunch of work with him, like interviews and stuff, and we've talked a lot of comic books and things. And I have the utmost respect for the man as an actor. I think this is a great spotlight for him. I think it's really special. Excited to check out 3 and 4, and those videos are probably up right now. So tune in for the rest of this season. 3 and 4 will be up right next, and then probably half an hour later to an hour later, 5 and 6, because they're all out in a day. But let's dive into 3 and 4 here in a second. I'm gonna go watch them. I'm so excited. This show is so freaking good. Thank you, Marvel. Thank you, Brad Winderbaum. Thank you, Yaya. Thank you to the team. Andrew Guest, I think was the dude's name. Destin Daniel Cretton directing. The whole team behind this. Yes. Like, subscribe, comment, do those things. Okay.